for me because it's gauntlet time, baby, and I've got a gauntlet for you. You see the little preview here on the slide.
Do I have a gauntlet for you?
Yeah.
No, I was just going to ask you, of my purchases at the National, which one you would potentially want to go home with.
All right, so let's do that one first. So let me see if I can remember. You had the Gunnar Henderson, which was out of 250.
So I bought 7 cards this weekend.
Okay, you walk us through.
I bought 2 Rose Lavelle cards, 1 regular auto, just like from a random. I think it was from like a. What set is it in? It's in the Upper Deck Goodwin Champion, so not really anything crazy. And then I bought a Rose Lavelle 9 Obsidian rookie card, RC logo out of 75. I bought a Weston McKinney Chrome PSA 10 Schalke rookie. That's pretty sick for $80. I bought a Florian Wirtz Sapphire PSA 9 for $100.
I remember you were pumped about all of those, but definitely Wirtz on the sly. You were pumped about.
Yep. I got a Josh Young PSA 10, Bowman First Chrome Atomic Sapphire, PSA 10 for $80, which was the fact that card was $80
way too low.
Yeah. I got a Indy Rodriguez out of 299 PSA 10 auto in the bundle box for $100.
Amazing.
$100. Freaking nuts. Later that night, the Speckle auto itself closed for like almost 95, I think. So like paid $5 more for the PSA 10 version. And then the Gunnar Henderson out of 275 or 250, that was 270.
I remember lending you the cash for that one, so I will never forget that one.
You did lend me the cash. So
I felt like I was coming in strong. I was a good wingman on that one.
That was a good wingman because I was like, crap, what do I do? My phone's not working.
All right, so those are the cards. Before I pick, I do agree with. We're gonna back up real quick. Jamie Hauser says that the parameters to this "Would You Rather" should have been that you can't sell the card. I actually agree with that, but I still pick the card anyway. But moving back to Kendall's cards, Southern Soccer Idiot says PSA 10 Weston McKinney buy is pickup of the week. Love that flying kick pose on the card. Is that the one you got? Love from, yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, you were frozen for a second.
Okay, Southern Soccer Idiot likes your Weston McKinney pickup. So,
cool.
So you got some love from.
We agree. Let's
there
go.
It is. The love. I pick Endy because I believe in Endy. You and Aram and you have sold me on Endy, and I believe you, and I've bought some Endy on eBay that night when I got back to my hotel after you got that one. And so Endy's probably going to move up our sports card investment report baseball card rankings here very soon. And so that's the one I'm most intrigued in. I would put Gunner number 2, but the Endy PSA 10 Speckle Refractor Auto, sign me up for that all day.
That was awesome.
But good work.
Gunner's probably the safer bet of the two. You
okay.
know,
he's like number 4 overall prospect on the MLB top 100. Like he's no, I think Gunner's probably the safer. That's a good point. I mean, for all of you listening, like Gunner's probably the pick baseball wise, but I just like Endy. I'm just rooting for him, so that's the one I'm gonna take.
And he hit 5 home runs in 3 days last week. So
let's go. I may or may not have a guy on mine that hit a 512-foot bomb. So let's talk about that real quick.
That dude's a beast. But anyway,
let's go. So we'll see him here in a second. But the first one up is not that guy. It's a guy that Kendall and I talked about at the show at the National. James Wood, 2022 Bowman Chrome. You can comment on like this is not his first. You can kind of like walk the audience through that. But this is a Mojo refractor auto out of 99. Buy it now for $200. Or an Izaak Pacheco 2021 Bowman Chrome first refractor out of 499 auto for 125. And so price range here, Kendall, just factor that into your decision. Like there are different prices. There's kind of a different priced gauntlet here. They're all pretty close. But you just maybe talk about player card. Which one do you pick between these two? Pacheco, refractor auto out of 499 first, or James Wood out of 99 Chrome auto?
Well, first off, I'll kind of point out the differences here. So when Target, so Bowman 22 is the first release of the year. Well, the first release of a calendar year, but in a section year, Bowman Draft would be, but it's in the very last part of whatever year it's in. So I know it's a little confusing, but you can, at this point, Paul can link my Bowman for Dummies video if you need it. But in this specific set, this Mojo set comes out of a mega box that's coming from Target. So this happens every year. Bowman comes out with what are called Mojos, which are like have this little like square little thing behind it, and they're pretty desirable. But the Mojo autos typically are not first autos because the player maybe has a first card already, and sometimes they do this thing where like for instance, Jackson Churio doesn't have a Bowman Chrome auto right now, but he's flying up people's like boards to acquire. But like the nicest thing you can acquire from him is like some low print numbered color. So like Jackson Churio will have a Bowman Chrome auto, but it won't say a first on it, but it will be his first auto. So like there's like some gray areas here. James Wood is not one of those. So this card here is not his first auto, even though his first auto came out like 4 months before this. But James Wood will be liquid enough, I believe. He's high enough desirable that this card will still move. I don't think you'll have any problem buying and selling something at this price point and it going up in the future. I did this for Nick Gonzalez. I actually ended up selling it to Paul, which was kind of cool. So Paul has, I think it's an orange.
It was a sick card too.
Yeah, I think it's an orange Nick auto, which is sick. And then I have some Robert Hassels that are this way as well. And Robert Hassel's another guy who's really desirable. So it's not that I never buy these. But then you go to the Pacheco, and the Pacheco one is a refractor auto, so it's still numbered itself. A lot of people won't know who Pacheco is at this point. Definitely a guy that, I was with Arm and Colby last week. They're super duper prospectors. I knew who Pacheco was, but Arm said, like, no, Pacheco's going to be great. Like, he's going to be a really good baseball player. So I think it's still in the flyer category for us, but it's definitely something that is undervalued in the hobby. So like that's Arm and I had this discussion of like, okay, when you bring up names, are they like, hey, you should definitely buy this because he's going to be the next Hall of Famer, or oh, you should definitely buy this because it's just undervalued of where he should be. And this is one of the undervalues of where he should be cards. So anyway, I'm taking Pacheco.
I love that. Yeah. And for those of you listening, it's IZAAC, Isaac, and then Pacheco, PACHECO, for your eBay searches. And yeah, he's got all the great cards. Basically all the cards that you would look for in terms of a Bowman Chrome first auto. This one's numbered to 499. And this seller actually, we all know how eBay works, where if you look at a card, then you're kind of eligible to have the seller send you an offer. So I actually got an offer for this one for $100. And I texted Kendall yesterday, is this a good buy? So I know you don't have to tell me on the show, but just, this is one that I'm considering buying. So I wanted to get your take on this versus James Wood. So Pacheco wins the first round of this particular gauntlet. And now we're going to go to the guy that I was referring to earlier, Elly de la Cruz, who many of you may have seen. His home run was like on the front page of ESPN.com's app. And and the highlight reel video was there for the Chattanooga Lookouts. My son was then like, "Hey, we need to go to Chattanooga now and see Elly." And I was like, "Okay, buddy, we will." Like, I would like to, but we've got other things we need to do in our life, unfortunately.
Nothing's
But
more important than baseball, Dad. Come on.
I know, it's a very hard decision to decide, to pass on a Lookouts game and drive the 3 hours over to Chattanooga. But this is a out of 199. Is this a fuchsia lava refractor? It's no auto, but do they really call it fuchsia on the checklist? Okay, nice. So it's for $140. You can make an offer, but are you going Elly, who I know you're in love with, or Pacheco, who's more of a flyer? And the reason I like this is because we're lining up the auto out of 499 on the player that's a flyer versus maybe what you would consider the more star potential sooner rather than later, but it's a first, but no auto. Fuchsia refractor, chrome first out of 199.
This is always hard for me. I always have a hard time like with, okay, do I take the auto at the same price or do I take a card from a player that's nicer but it's not autoed? And I think a year and a half ago I would have chosen this Elly no problem. For instance, I had a second or third year Mojo out of 5 Julio Rodriguez that I bought a couple of years ago. Well, I guess it was like a year ago at this point. But I ended up selling it anyway. I'm trying to factor all this in my head.
It's a tough one.
So Elly is probably has a super, super, super high ceiling. Another quote from Aram from this week is he said, Elly is who Jason Dominguez was supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, this dude, like, I'm excited about this guy. I'm trying to buy what I can of his, and I just got his chrome. It's not the first, but it's like that Mojo refractor auto that you talked about a minute ago for James Wood.
Yeah.
I think I got that raw for like 163 yesterday in an eBay auction.
That'll go up.
So I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I think I haven't.
When I hear myself say that against this card, sorry to cut you off, but I just hearing myself say that against this card that we're looking at for Elly, that might be your answer right there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the Ray Waves are like really cool, or like the Lava and Ray Waves are super cool, but I'm not a big fuchsia fan. I know that sounds really dumb, but like,
no, I mean, it matters in cards. Everyone's got their preference. People might not. You are limiting your buyer pool when you pick a color like that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's 199. I'll shut up. I'll let you make your decision.
Which is crazy.
All right, Isaac.
I really don't know why. I'm just leaning more Pacheco in this instance.
Okay, cool.
Like,
I think
I'm trying to think like maybe the Elly's pop is going to be really high when it would be a selling high, and people aren't going to be choosing the fuchsia, numbered card to be the one they're buying.
Great consideration there for the audience, I think. So I like that. All right, so now we got Pacheco against this 2020 Topps Chrome Bundesliga pink refractor Yusafa Mukoko out of 75. The price is it's sold for $350, so you would have had to pay $350 to get this, Kendall. So just Pacheco for $125, or Mukoko no auto pink refractor out of 75 rookie for $350. So pay more for Mukoko or stick with Pacheco.
For the fact of the example, can I have 2 Pachecos?
Yeah, talk about it.
I still think I'm picking Mukoko, but
so two Pachecos or 1 Mukoko?
I'm picking Mukoko because Mokoko's already on the national team. He's already at the highest level. He's already going to be somebody that I'm going to sell in like 2 months or 3 months. And so I am looking to crystallize that fast. And Pacheco may never get there. So
okay, I like that. I like that. Hundo, what up, Hundo? You're new
cool
in terms of it is a cool logo. You're new in terms of commenting. Hopefully you've been watching. We appreciate it, even if this is your first time. Welcome, welcome. He has a James Wood Prism Draft Auto. Yeah, talk about that, Kendall. Like, just for people who maybe don't know and or do already know, like Prism versus Bowman. Like, what do you, I mean, I think you're a better person to break this down for Hundo. Let's take a quick question here before we go to the moves.
Yeah. Hundo, I don't want to disappoint you, but that card is nowhere near as valuable as the James Wood. Baseball collectors typically are purists. And they're gonna want the licensed material only, and the Prism cards are just not licensed. And so although it's a awesome card, and I know they look really great. Yeah. So I know which one you're talking about. There's a market for it. I will say that. Like, you can sell it, and I don't know what you bought it for, but you will be able to sell it. But Prism is not going to move nearly as fast nor at the same level as the Bowman would. Like, I mean, honestly, Topps doesn't even move as fast as Bowman does. Topps is even licensed, but like baseball traders just don't. Usually, it's Bowman or nothing for most baseball people that I've met at least.
And I'll just add to that, like, this was a new learning for me over the last year or two, Hundo. I mean, you might already know this, and you might just be asking about the Prism. When you're super familiar with sports cards in general, Prism is like one of the top brands. So it can be confusing to non-baseball only people to say, well, why wouldn't a Prism, like a big Prism card like this, be like outdo maybe a not so big Bowman version of the same thing? Like, when I mean big, I mean like low serial numbered versus high serial numbered Bowman. And it's because everything Kendall just talked about. And so you're not going to really be able to get as much for the Prism as you would be for the Bowman. So I could see where that would be a little bit confusing. And that was kind of a lesson learned for me to not really chase the Panini non-licensed baseball stuff. Like, it's kind of like a Leaf product for every other sport is the best analogy I can give you, because it's like, yeah, there's cheap autos. That's the good news. The other good news is they will sell. Like, I've sold a lot of Leaf and other non-licensed auto stuff, but it's not going to sell for as much. So that's what it is. But great question. We love the question.
Here's an example. I sold a Mojo auto of Gabriel Moreno. So a catching prospect. It was a Mojo auto, so we just talked about that. So it's the one that's like not the first, but first year. Gabriel Moreno auto. I sold it for like 175, I think, at the time when he first came up, or something like that. I don't know exactly, but you'll get the reference, which is why I'm saying this. I bought I had a pro debut, which is a licensed product, but is him in his minor league jerseys, so still not the same level. Auto of Gabriel Moreno that I sold for $11.
Yeah.
So it's just like it just doesn't really. Topps and Bowman over Prism. Yeah, exactly. Like that's where I would hone in on. I would just hone in on licensed product for baseball. Licensed product for anything is really important. But I even saw some Pro Set Halan autos this weekend from Pro Set. They had Messi and Halan autos in there somehow, which I feel like are fake. But I saw some this weekend, and they were really super cheap, and they were still in the case, which means nobody had bought them yet, so.
Yeah. I bought a couple boxes of that product to try to get the Messi and Haaland, and I didn't know really what was in it. And I shipped one box to myself from my vault, opened it, and it's literally just 2 encased autos of different soccer players. Did not hit the Messi or the Haaland. I think I will be able to resell the autos that I pulled for, I don't know, maybe half the price of the box. So it's still, you can still have fun with. I got Cafu and a rookie auto, a Premier League player rookie auto, and I can't remember his name right now, but I will follow up on that.
Cool.
all of you know for sure. All right, so let's go actually to the